Hello, I'm H.E. Roselle, and today we're going to talk about the backstory of the second of the Benton County Trilogy, Sins of the Few. And we've all from time to time thought about, worried about what's right or wrong, what's good or evil, things that are studied in the philosophy of ethics. And, what's really right or wrong, not what the law says or not what some preacher tells you, but to you, to me, what really is right or wrong for us. And it made me think, what if there was this family who, for generations, they just decided to disregard other people's idea of right or wrong and just live life the way they wanted to live it, with no regard for what anybody else thinks. And of course, they're going to have to be skirting around the law a lot. And would they be happy or sad? Would they be virtuous or would they be really evil people? Would they prosper or would they be paupers? How would it work out if for generations, from father to son and daughter, they're taught, oh, don't worry about what other people think. Don't worry about the law. Don't worry about what God says. That's your decision. So we decided to just write a story about a family who for many generations since the 900s, they have just been living life the way they want to live it. And this family today are living in good old Benton County. And the history of the family is they are, their name is Malov, and they are from Croatia. Well, it just so happens that my wife's family name is Mihalovic, and they're also from Croatia. But there's absolutely no relationship between the two. It's just a coincidence that it worked out like that. And my wife, of course, is in no way one of these people that decide to live their life with a disregard to law or well, it doesn't look like I'm going to be very good at walking and talking and checking my notes. I'm like the guy that can't walk and chew gum at the same time. So I got me a chair now. Maybe I can straighten out a little bit. So let's get back to talking about this family who for 40 generations have lived their life exactly on their own terms. And now they're living in the northern part of Benton County in a secluded house in the Talladega National Forest. And so they're going to be interacting with the people of Benton County and who's going to come out on top. When I think about writing this book that I wrote several years ago, I always think about all the research I had to do. I had to first study Croatia in 925 when Tomislav took over. He was a warlord and became king and then fit the Malov family into that part of history. And it just took weeks of research. Of course, I love doing that, and it was fun. And then the next step was the Fourth Crusade. If you ever want to have fun, get into the Fourth Crusade. That's when the good Christians left France, and they're going down to free the Holy Land. And along the way, they stop off at Constantinople, and it's one of the worst cases of rape, pillage, murder, burning. I mean, it was awful. And the only problem was that Constantinople was a Christian city. So they got in a little mischief on the way, and a lot of them, after the pillaging, they just turned around and went back to France. So I had to fit my Malovs into that. And then jump ahead to the Inquisitions, and I was really interested in the Protestant Inquisition. And you think, wait a minute, that was the Catholics were the ones that did that. You know, they were after the Jews and the Muslims in Spain, and they, you know, tortured and ended up taking the property of a lot of people. But there was this guy, Servetus, and he was a scientist, and he ended up traveling to Prague, and he was burned at the stake. They piled his own books up and burned him, and that was Protestants. That was Calvin that did that. So I wanted to get into that, so I had to study that a while and then work my Malovs, and that's a good little story about a girl who wanted an education and ended up there, and all her trials and tribulations, and then the next big jump was to the American Civil War, and I didn't have to do as much research. That's home ground there, and I have them down around Apalachicola sailing around. So it was a lot of research involved. And then when I went back and looked, all of that research is 30 pages. 30 pages in this book about the Malovs down through history for 40 generations. But that's some pretty good little stories in there. Most of the book is about the people of Benton County. And at this time, the Benton County had two moral compasses. One is Mama B. Shoemake, and an octogenarian black lady who rules the families who rule Benton County. She's the boss. And she's in all the stories, and she's one of my favorite characters. And the other one is a little girl, Lydia Dark, who's one of those people that has never told a lie and never done a bad thing. And she's on her way to college, and she's traveling back and forth to Jacksonville with, she gathers up misfits and people that, you know, might need a helping hand, so she always wants to do what's right. And so she's going to bump into the Malovs. We won't talk too much about that because that's the story. And so now you're thinking, okay, you know, we've heard his crap. If you've listened to the other little videos we've made, and well, Lord, we've already skipped on over. We're making good time, and I'm not even having to refer to my notes as much. So now you're wondering, what kind of pinko, liberal, subliminal indoctrination is he trying to get us into this time? He's wanting to stick that liberal progressive philosophy in these books, and we've got to be on the lookout for it. So what is it? Well, it's simply this. Don't hate a whole race of people because a fish just jumped. Don't hate a whole race of people just because a few of those people are doing things that you shouldn't be doing. That's stereotyping. You don't do that. You know, every race has people that do all kind of things, and you can't blame the whole race for just what a few do. Don't hate a whole religion because of a few fundamentalists. I have to remind myself of that. You know, there's fundamentalists who believe all kind of crazy things, but you don't blame all of Christianity just because of the kind of narrow-minded beliefs of these Christian nationalists. And I have to remind myself of this one. You don't hate a whole political party just because of the extremes of the party. Most of the people in every political party, they're good people and they just want what's best for America. And you can't hate the whole bunch just because a few of them are not nice people. And so, like we've said before, let's just agree to confine ourselves to just hating one son of a bitch at a time. Okay, so if you'll check out the sins of the few, there's going to be some murdering and there's going to be some heroic actions and there's a lot of good stuff going on, plus the historical escapades of the Malovs, and I think you'll like it if you'll check it out. Okay, thank you.